What is up, guys? Long time no see. I know it is 2026 and 2025 was last year, and I think that was the last time I did a post, and that we ended out the year with the planting season. So today is March 29th, Sunday, 2026. And yeah, so I am out here. It is warm. I think it's like 60, 65, 70 degrees out right now. And the past couple of weeks has been pretty hot. And so a lot of things have been kind of blossoming early. Like all my trees are starting to grow leaves and stuff. So I'll show you around with that, and then what my plans are for this coming year. So yeah, and currently I'm working on a gate fence, and I'll show you here in a bit. But I hope everyone has a good New Year's. I hope they had a splendid vacation. Christmas, I know it's a long time. This is the first time I'm recording in a while. So yeah. So what have I been up to the past couple of months, like since January? Well, I went back to school to take some classes, and I won't tell you now, but I will probably tell you in the later future as far as like what I'm gonna do with my career and stuff. But for now, we're just gonna focus on growing, planting, and seeing how everything works this year. For the planting season, and we didn't get a lot of snow or rain this past winter, and it heated up too quickly. And normally we usually start warming up about mid-April, but for some reason it started getting warm at the beginning of March, and it's been warm ever since, and windy as well. And yeah, we'll go from here then. So let's start. All right, this is what I've been working on yesterday, Saturday, all day. Basically, I made a big old entrance on the south entrance, because we have the north entrance right there, and then we have the east entrance, and now I'm making a south entrance on the side. And yeah, I just made it a little bit wider. I'm gonna bring that gate, I don't know if you can see it, I'm gonna bring that gate over there, and then I'm gonna make that entrance a little bit shorter and a little bit easier to access on that side as far as like walking, because there's like a little hill up on that side, and we don't really go in and out from there, just like walking. At least for me, I just do the walking right there, but everyone, all our vehicles and tractors usually enter on this side, and so I wouldn't mind having this side open and closed with this gate system, and just have easier access on the side, because I can't really drive with my vehicle through this, because I just might get stuck in the dust or the dirt. Like, it's so soft that my vehicle just kind of sinks in. Plus my truck's a little small and it's not weighted, so it just kind of gets stuck in there. So, but yeah, I need to drag that fence over there, and I'm pretty much done with the post. These are about 10 feet tall. I went 3 feet down, maybe a little over 3.5 feet down, so that's sticking out. And then I put the post on the side too, and then same thing here. I was trying to do the wiring, but I jacked this side up, so you can tell my X is off. My X is off. But yeah, I got that right there. And then this side came out really good, and I'm still debating if I want to put one across right there. And this is kind of like some of my plans for this spring, dealing with school and going back to school for part-time. A lot of my time is going to be with work and school. So last year I wound up just kind of putting that off right here. I put this off too as well, and trying to figure out how I wanted to do it. And so I finally decided to use these old posts and kind of go from there. So yeah, I think in the next couple of weeks I am going to start re-fencing the barbed wire here, and then I'm going to put like a little small, I have these ones, I took it off too, so it's smaller down here, and then the upper have like bigger gaps, so that way the jackrabbits can't get in. So yeah, I'm gonna fix that first and see how that goes. Today I'm kind of done with this area, but I'm gonna try to drag that fence over and just kind of see, and then just tie it off. But I'll probably start working on the fencing. So yeah, I'll probably start working on the fence next week, as far as like getting it up and start working on that. In fact, I truly just want to focus on making the fence a lot better all the way around, just because I don't think these posts have been replaced. Some of them have been replaced, but definitely on that end, where my cousin's house, on that end, it's starting to rot out, and that hasn't been replaced since, I want to say, my grandpa has been alive. And I think my grandpa had passed away in like the 80s or maybe early 90s, and it's been a long time since those have been replaced. So I'm gonna go, we'll check it out too, and we'll go ahead that way, and then see what we're gonna do, what we need to replace on that side. So I have my water, and I have a bunch of wires left over, so I'm gonna take this back, and I'm gonna leave the truck here, but I'm gonna take the shovel, the hoe, and some gloves, and then we're gonna fix some of the fruit trees over there, and kind of dig out some spot, and then clear out all the tumbleweeds. So all right, so here we're at the little orchard, and I will show you guys here in a bit what's going on, but I just want to show you guys this. I think before, like earlier this year, or I don't know when I did this, but I ended up redoing all that, retightening the bob wires, and then retightening this, and then replaced all the old posts with new posts and T-posts as well. And I did every other T-post, and then every other regular poles, and that's all fixed on the side all the way. And then I need to start fixing that side all the way down, all the way to that entrance on that side. So yeah, that's my goal for like this year, is to kind of get everything fixed up as far as like the fence in there. I'm gonna take all the stuff down on here, so that way next week I can water these trees, and then right now I'm just gonna clean out everything on the side with the tumbleweeds, and also kind of make these little trenches a little bit wider and build up the trenches again. So I ended up taking down the little fence around it, as you can tell on the water trough there. I took off all the gating, just because the wind was blowing all winter and fall, and it just kind of blew over. And then I wound up putting these little chicken wire around the fruit trees, and did the same. So the reason why I did that was mostly because the jackrabbits will come in, and will start gnawing at the trees, and they almost took out this peach right here. So last week was pretty warm, in the past 2 weeks, like I said, it's been pretty warm. So all of these peaches, the flowers started coming out. It was really pretty. It's like a purple pinkish color, and you can see them kind of dying out now. I don't know if we'll get any fruit. I hope so, but we'll see. And they're starting to sprout, which is kind of cool. And last week this whole thing was like purple. It was super pretty. The apple, I don't know, they look like they're fuzzing on and maybe sprouting. The apricot is starting to sprout, and the buds on the cherry tree are starting to come out. Well, like 2 weeks ago they were starting to come out, so I don't know, maybe they need water. So I am going to water them next week. We'll see how they do this week, and then yeah, we'll see. And then that one's already coming out at the bottom, and I need to trim that off. Just cause, oh yeah, look, it's sprouting now. That's cool. That apricot, I don't know. It just kind of died. I was trying to break it in half, but it wouldn't let me. It had a lot of give, so I'm not gonna really worry about that. So I'm gonna let it sit, and I'm still gonna fix it in it. So yeah. Alright guys, this is how I am editing my video, and I am just test running this little microphone on my headphones. But anyways, this is just me cleaning up the spot and getting ready to get some water, and then I am gonna dig around each of these trees, and then I'm gonna try to fence it off, clear out all of these tumbleweeds that have been kind of growing here. And yeah, I worked my way all the way around through the peach trees, through the apple trees, and getting ready to get some water for tomorrow, and then hopefully these guys can start sprouting. And yeah, it's supposed to rain this next couple of days, but we'll see. And then I had to walk all the way across the field to get that little fencing, so I brought it back too as well. Alright guys, we are done with that. I'm tired. Yeah. We'll head back to the vehicle and then go back around, and I'll show you what I've been experimenting on. So alright, so right now it's pretty windy and it's kind of hazy today, and it's been hazy for the past couple of weeks just because the tree pollen is pretty high. But as you can tell there, a lot of these poles are old, so I'm going to replace all of this with new ones all the way down. See, there's one torn down right here. There's one that's just shaking with the wind over there. It's just hanging on by a thread, and I need to replace all of this, so wish me luck on that. But yeah, plans as far as planting this year. Last year or the year before, I planted a bunch of watermelon right here, and it did great. But there used to be a tree right here, and we ended up chopping that down. And yeah, and we had some of our cousins had cows here. Just because the water access is a little bit better right here, it just flows down. So yeah, this is kind of not necessarily here per se, more like that section right there. And I am not going to go crazy like I did last year on that side right there, but more just like a small little section right here, just so I can get the fencing done, and also my little experiment. I don't know if the wind's going to be bothering the sound on here, but I did a little experiment right here. I planted some peaches with some shells, with the shell in the seed, so we're going to see if that works. And I think the dog was digging in here. Basically, I got some horse manure. It's probably about over 6 months old. I got it from my cousin's horse corral over there, and I mixed it with the regular dirt, broke it up, and then I planted it about 3-4 months ago. And yeah, this one's a no shell. Those are 2 horse shells, and then this one is a nectarine with the shell. No shell cherries, shelled, and then no shell cherries. And then I believe I opened this one, and this one was starting to grow, which is a good thing because I have manure mixed in with regular soil, but I also have like mulch on top, so that way you can kind of keep it moist. And so I think that's working. And the no-shell, this one I'm gonna get through because it's super hard. But the other one, the apricot was growing because I pulled it out, and then you can see this sprouting on the bottom. So I just left it alone, kind of packed it back in, and then I winded up doing the no-shell, and I was trying to look for it and dig for it, and I couldn't find it. So yeah, I don't know if it's gonna work. The no-shell apricot. Yeah, and then I have over here my grape is starting to bloom. So you can see like the little fuzzy spots right here. See, starting to bloom. So they're gonna start taking root, and then we have right here. Half of it's still alive, so it did survive the winter. And it says hardening at 10 degrees, so it didn't die, but I think it needs water. And then I have a lime and a lemon tree in there, but I don't think they made it. It probably needs water just to make sure. So next week I'm going to set up this whole water drip system. It just stops to here, so I'm going to make it come all the way down to the other side. So sorry for the wind. Alright, so my plum tree about 2 weeks ago really had like all of these flowers on top, white flowers that look really super pretty, and so now it's got a bunch of leaves on there. The plum is starting to, the nectarine is starting to blossom too as well, and that's it. See a little flower right there. Well, not all of it, but like at least to get the middle T-post in there, so that way we can really draw. It is windy. Oh my gosh! Every time I start recording, it just starts getting windy again. But anywho, that's kind of my plan for this growing season for 2026. And then I also got a bunch of trees that I want to plant and propagate, and so that's the process. As far as that goes, I do want to show you that, but I'll probably do that next week. So next week, probably just water the trees. I'm gonna do the watering every other week, and then I'll show you the propagation next week, and then hopefully I can get that fence over there, the gate fence, that way, and then I can start working on the fence over there. But all of that while having a full-time job and going back to school. Yeah, we'll see how that works, and I might not do it. I might do it just because we have exams coming up, and so I am going to be burnt. But anyways, yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Definitely need your support because I need some money to kind of do all these little cool projects here. And yeah, growing on the Navajo reservation is hard and rough, especially this season when it didn't have a good winter and it is dry and hot. It's already March and it's hot. Normally it gets hot about toward the end of April, but for some reason this is super hot this year. And yeah, and like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time. I'm going it.